Even though the southern front line is still very active, President Zelensky visited Kherson City and symbolically gave a speech at Freedom Square. As you can see from the map, the nearest Russian positions are only 3 kilometers from where he appeared. This also shows high confidence in the ability of Ukrainian forces to clear the city because, for the last few days, several reports have been saying that the Ukrainians found and detained Russian saboteurs in the city. In the meantime, a Ukrainians' amphibious operation has indeed taken place. At first, the head of the presidential administration hinted that the operation was successful. The head of the Mykolaiv region also said that Kherson is not yet the end of good news. Next, some sources reported that the Ukrainians took the northern part of Kinburn. Ukrainian unofficial sources started circulating footage of Ukrainian soldiers heading somewhere on boats, although I could not confirm that this is legit footage from the Kinburn operation. Interestingly, if yesterday, Russian sources completely denied that the Ukrainians conducted an attack, then today, they started to report that the operation indeed took place, but that they completely destroyed the attackers. This is very fresh news, but I would not be surprised if the Kinburn peninsula is already under Ukrainian control. Many of you expressed your doubts about this operation because supplying this group would be extremely difficult. However, it is not true. If we compare the difficulties that the Russians and Ukrainians could have by controlling Kinburn, we can see that, firstly, the whole peninsula is in complete fire control of the Ukrainian artillery, so the Russians are constantly bombed. Russian artillery, in turn, is controlling half of the peninsula at best. Of course, they can place it closer, or even to the south, but in this case, it would be a very stupid allocation of artillery because from here, it does not reach the active part of the front line where there are actually a lot of potential targets. By placing artillery here, the Russians would be wasting their resources by trying to target with inaccurate weapons sparsely located positions across the whole peninsula. And secondly, it takes around 2 hours to cross the 35 kilometers wide Kinburn Peninsula by car or truck to deliver supplies, while it takes 20 to 40 minutes to deliver supplies by boat to any part of the peninsula. Lastly, as you probably know, the Russians have been constructing a huge defense line in the Luhansk region. The defense line mostly consists of concrete anti-tank hedgehogs, which are supposed to prevent an attack in the less protected areas. Some Ukrainian soldiers recently published a video showing the ineffectiveness of this construction. As you can see, the tanks are crossing it almost without slowing down. This is very good news because it not only shows that Russian defense infrastructure is incapable of slowing down Ukrainian advances but also that Ukrainian forces have already reached it. Overall, it is funny that the Russians spent 2 months building it. It seems the only ones who are profiting from it are those who were hired to build it. I would not be surprised if the primary goal here was to make a bunch of money rather than stop the attack. And from the business point of view, it is more profitable to build ineffective defense lines because this way, the Ukrainians will keep advancing while they will keep getting orders to build more hedgehogs and construct more lines. If you are against the invasion of Ukraine and want to support the work that I am doing, consider making a purchase in the online store UA Supporter. Here you can find a lot of products with Ukrainian symbols, to not only show your support for this channel, but also for Ukraine.